How are you guys? So I took a week off, but I am back. I am recharged and I am ready to give you guys the twisted teaching tip for this week. So I'm asking you guys, check your technology for equity. Techquity, like check for equity, right? Me being corny. Okay, so last week I gave my students an assignment, posted the assignment, designed it on Canva, said, oh my God, they're gonna love this handout. It's gonna be a great tool to use and support them as they're designing their community organization. I came up with this great activity for them to be the change, to help them build and develop their social political awareness and consciousness. And so I posted this assignment into our learning management system, Blackboard. And I got all these emails saying, Professor Terry, what am I supposed to do with this? Professor Terry, am I supposed to write on this or not? And I'm like, what? What's going on? I posted the assignment as a PDF. And so, one of the things as equity minded educators, we have to be conscious about how we're using technology, and is our technology creating a barrier for any of our students? So, while some of the students were able to download it and said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do this on a PowerPoint presentation and turn that bad boy in. Some other students were caught up on, okay, I don't know what to do with this PDF, right? So, one of the things that I've realized is that even some of us educators, we don't know really what to do with PDF sometimes. And if you do not have the means or access to Adobe software, sometimes you can hit a barrier with PDFs, especially when it comes to converting a PDF from a PDF to a Word document or turning a Word document to a PDF. I know you can do that in Microsoft, and I know you can do it in Google Docs, but some people don't know. Some people do not have access to those resources to manipulate and play around with PDFs. So I am going to show you guys how I addressed my tech issue, my intequity, get it, inequity, intequity, how I addressed my intequity through PDF Candy. Okay. So PDF Candy is something that I found out about a few weeks ago, and I want to show you guys how PDF Candy can be used to address any issues that we may have that creates barriers for our students to equally access tech tools, right? So now, PDF Candy is pretty much everything you can and should be able to do in the Adobe suite. But if you don't have access to Adobe or you can't afford Adobe because it is costly, PDF Candy has got your back. So one of the things that I want my students to be able to do sometimes is just simply convert the PDF from a PDF document to a Word document. If they want to edit the PDF, if they want to compress PDFs and put them in a file, if they want to add watermarks, crop out PDFs, take anything from a PDF, turn it into a PowerPoint or turn a PowerPoint into a PDF. You can do all of this with PDF Candy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys just one of the simple things that I ask my students to do when I give them PDF sometimes is how do we take this PDF and convert it to Word, okay? So if you go click PDF to Word, if you add a file, you can go to your selection tool, you can go to your documents or downloads, and you can find the file that you want to access. So again, the file that my students had trouble with was the Be the Change activity. Okay, so with it, I created in Canva, was not even thinking, downloaded it as a PDF, and they couldn't do anything with it, right? But with the PDF Candy, all they have to do is now go in, upload the PDF that I gave to them, and they can download that file. And here it is in a Word document. See, bam. Now, okay, so you may be asking, why should my students have to do that? Like, is there a way that I can make an activity fillable for them with them not even having to go into an outside source, or can I give them other guidelines? Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you another tool that you can use to make fillable PDFs. But the reason why I show my students, how to use PDF Candy was because I think it is one of those tangible tools that they're going to have to know how to use. So it's good to have it in their back pocket. It is good for them to, if they do run into a document, whether it be for school, whether it be for their personal or their professional life, if they run into a document that they want to be able to edit, they want to be able to put documents together in a portfolio. They want to be able to add header footers to a PDF. If they want to extract an image or extract the text from it, they want to convert a PNG into a PDF file. PDF Candy is something that will allow them to have access to those tools that they need and get around Adobe Suite. Okay. So the next thing that I want to show you guys is, okay, how can I, because I know I create a lot of PDF documents for my Twisted Teaching family. Hey, here's a plug. Twisted Teaching now has an exclusive membership community where, and I'm going to drop that link in the comments, where you can get unlimited access to all of the weekly resources. The Be the Change activity is going up there. You can get access to all of the weekly resources that I create through Twisted Teaching. You can get them exclusively by becoming a Twisted Teaching member, and there's so many other benefits. So check it out. So what if there's a document that you want to share with your students, and you want them to be able to just fill that document in, type in their information, bam, turn it into Google Classroom, okay? Yes, there is a Google add-on that you can do to fill in, but I just want to show you guys the PDF Escape. And PDF Escape allows you to turn your documents into fillable PDFs. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to upload a PDF for us to play with. And I'll do the Be the Change again, just so that way we can have a fresh start, okay? So here is the PDF that I want to make loadable, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I want to select the form field option. So form field option. And I'm going to click form field, and I'm going to select down, I want them to be able to do a text paragraph. So I'm going to hit select, and now you just go in and you draw where it is you want them to be able to fill in information. Okay, so I'm going to fill in all of these sections because this is where I want a text box to pop up, so that way when it comes to filling in information, students will be able to access the text box. So I'm going to fill in all of these text boxes here, and I am not going to let my need for perfection kick in right here. So you've seen enough. Okay, so I filled in all the text boxes, right? So now what I want to do is I'm going to save it, so that way if something happens, I can edit it. I'll just put one here. And then I want to download it, right? So I'm going to download that PDF. That PDF is going to pop up right here. And guess what? When I send this PDF to someone, this PDF is now going to be a fillable PDF where they can submit their responses, and then they can save that PDF with their responses filled in, and they can send it to me. So if you have a PDF document that is not fillable, you know how to fill it. If you have a PDF document that you want to change into a Word document, you can use PDF Candy. Any of the Twisted Teaching resources that I share with you guys, a lot of those are just PDFs, and I haven't had the chance to make them fillable. But from here on out, I will make them fillable before I upload them to the Twisted Teaching membership page. But if there is any document that you want to break apart, PDF Candy. If there's any document that you want to make fillable, PDF Escape. Again, the whole goal is to provide equal access and equal opportunity to our students, so that way they can have what they need to be successful and thrive. And so again, I was working off of just autopilot, and I didn't even think about how this would create an inequity. A simple PDF could create an inequity for all of my students, because all of our students do not have equal access to resources and tools to support them through this whole time period. And so I hope that you guys find value and benefit, and that you shout for PDF Candy and PDF Escape. All right, that is my twisted teaching tip. Check your Techquity. Check your Techquity. All right, I'm out. Bye-bye.